Okay, guys, welcome to the Lobo Den podcast. This is actually going to be a solo den. So this is going to be my first episode I'm doing by myself. I'm going to tell a few stories. The reason I'm doing it by myself is I was supposed to record with Hustle Man. Hustle Man is a local crackhead here in Zion. He's been selling all lawnmowers, TVs, all kinds of stuff for like 20 years in Zion. Well, we got to set it up to record, but today was his birthday, and I think he just smoked a bunch of crack and did not pick up my calls. So that's fine. So I'm going to tell a few stories, like how I got banned from the Walgreens, one of the Walgreens here in Waukegan when I was 21 years old. It involved women and me being thirsty about the time where I had to fake heartburn to leave this girl's place. And then we'll go into when I became a Christian for 3 months. Yeah, I was going to church for 3 months for this girl. It does involve the dookie story is in the middle of it, and the time I went to church on coke gets thrown in there, and so that's all part of it, and how I found out that she had a man. And then I'll finish it off why I bought sheets for the first time last year and returned them, but why I bought sheets again now recently, and why I can't go to Lazy Dog. Also, if you need to learn about why when you hear Miami, what happened, it is on episode 53 of Busting Balls podcast. So at the end too, when I do, I'll get some guests back, but every once in a while, if I have to, I'll do these. So I threw some other stories. You'll hear them, the Honduran prostitute, sex collarbone. I tried to have sex with a broken collarbone, my first open mic, and when I got arrested on mushrooms, my grandma, and these trans prostitutes. She wasn't one. Well, whatever. The time I got robbed by a hooker here in Zion. I don't know. Here's some different ones. So if you're interested in any of those, DM me. And if you want the video where I talk about the guy that got shot in Zion by my house, let me know. You can check out the video. All right, Lobo Den.
Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den. Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den. Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den. Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den. It's the Lobo Den.
Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den podcast. This is actually going to be my first, I guess I'm going to call it the solo den. So I am recording alone today. I did have a guest I was going to record with. His name was Hustle Man. If you guys know Hustle Man, he's a crackhead who lives here in Zion, Illinois, right? So he's been a crackhead for 20 years, right around the neighborhood, selling stuff to people. He sold ketchup to me one time for like $1, but like not a bottle of ketchup, but a bunch of ketchup that he got. This is my first time that he got from Wendy's, right? Yeah, he came because I used to live in a house over here in Zion, like on 29th, right? It was kind of ghetto in that area. There'd be a lot of shootings. I actually have a recording. Let me know, because the police actually came to our house. Because there was a shooting there, and where my car was, and we had cameras set up because one of my buddy, I think D, I'm not sure if this happened, but he had a car stolen. I think it was from there. If you look at the 2 episodes ago, before B, we have my buddy D lived with me, had his car stolen here in Zion. But what happened was somebody, what the fuck did happen? Somebody stole his car. We set up some cameras, right? We set up a few cameras, and then somebody got shot, and the police came to the video. So you see the video by my car, you see some dude pulling up to somebody and shooting him. I think you see him one time, he gets hit in the leg. But anyways, today was a Hustle Man's birthday. I've been talking to him for like the last week to record with him. I called him today. He hasn't picked up, but I'm sure he's smoking crack, guys. So that's what happened, right? So this is the solo den. So I'll tell a few stories here is what I'm going to do. First one is going to be about my birthday. Today's not my birthday. My birthday was in May. And a few years ago, back from my birthday, what happened was I went out to this bar close by. It was called, hold on, I'm messing with this thing. It was, I think it was Jesse Oaks or something like that. I went out for my birthday. I was out with this girl. I ended up, I don't know, I was trying to get laid. I think it was my 21st birthday, right? Yeah, I was trying to get laid. And what happened was I didn't. I ended up back at my buddy's house, who had this house that was he didn't live in it. He bought it really inexpensive and used some construction stuff, home building. So then he started putting it together. But right now, there was nothing in there. It was barren, the floor, like the wood planking under the floor, unfinished floors. And I remember, I don't know if I had a key or something, so I went to his house. I went to that. I don't know, actually, maybe I got dropped off. I have no idea. I was drinking a lot, okay? I was 21, and I forgot how I got there. So what happened was I was sitting in that house. What's that noise? Anyways, I was sitting in that house, And then I was messaging all these girls because I was trying to get laid. I was like, maybe somebody, because I forgot what happened with the girl. We'll talk about her later, but with the girl that went out with me. So I started texting all these girls, but then my phone started dying, right? And my phone was dying. I was drinking. I wanted to get laid in this empty. I was like, hey, come over to this empty house with nobody in it, unfinished floors. We could have sex on the floor. You know, looking back, I don't know if that would have worked. I don't know whether that would have worked. But anyways, drinking tea, Rona. So nobody comes over, right? No, and my phone is dying, and I start freaking out, and I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So what I do is, close to like a block from his house, there's a Walgreens, guys. Yeah, a block from his house, there's a Walgreens. So I was like, all right, I'll go to the Walgreens to go get a charger. But there's a problem though. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a debit card. I have no way to pay for this charger. So what I did was I walked over to the Walgreens. I already knew what I was doing, right? I was drunk. I was desperate. I wanted to get laid. When you want to get laid, you do things in desperation. So I went to the Walgreens. I walk in. I go look for the chargers. The chargers are all in the back, like behind whatever. Like you got to get somebody to get them for you because people steal them. Apparently, I'm not the only one who wants to steal these chargers. So then I go get an associate, right? I ask him, hey, can I get that one, right? Charger and cable. Can I get that one? They give it to me because, to prevent people from stealing it. Then I go up to the cash register to go pay for it. I don't have any money, so I don't know what I'm going to pay for it, right? I'm trying to figure this out on the fly. So I'm in the register. And then the lady's like, okay, how are you going to pay for it? And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you know what? My card. I left my card. That's what I try to pull off. I left my card in the car. So what I do is she looks at me, right? And it's like, let me go get it. It's like, oh yeah, but you got to leave this here. And I was like, oh, and the other thing is they have a security guard, right? So I had to get somebody from the back to get this charger. There's a security guard by the door. So all these things to stop people like me from stealing this charger. And so now I'm walking out with it, and I tell her, like, I'm walking out with it. It's like, oh, this is for, I got to go get my debit card on my card. And then as I'm walking out, she's like, oh, you can't. You got to leave that here. So that's when I do. What I do is I see, look at the security guy, look at her, and I just jolt. I just jump. I just run out the store, run past the security guard who's by the front door, and then I run all the way back to my buddy's house. And then I go in there, lock myself in, freak out for a little bit. Like, I don't, I'm like, oh, are they going to, for maybe for 30 minutes, I'm freaking out. I'm like, are they going to send the cops? But they don't. And I charge my phone. I text a bunch of girls, probably at 1 or whatever in the morning. What are you doing? Trying to get laid. Nobody responds, and I have to walk home in the morning the next day, and I did not get laid. So that's what happened. So earlier I mentioned the girl I went out with that day. I mentioned her. This is a girl that I remember I met her at a dance. Yeah, I met her at a dance. She was wearing white pants, and I remember she was at. I don't know if you have these distinct memories, like, oh, that one time you see somebody, she was wearing these white pants, and I was like, man, who's this chick in the white pants? And then, I don't know, I think I did maybe talk to her a little bit at the dance, but then, I did, maybe I didn't even talk to her. Actually, I think I remember what I did. Instead of talking to her, I found her later on MySpace, right? Yeah, I added her on MySpace. Do you guys remember MySpace? I got laid a lot on MySpace, not so much anymore. But anyways, I added her on MySpace. We became friends, started communicating with her, messaging with her, and I think maybe going out and hanging out, and this became somebody I started to sleep with, right? But I remember one time, she lived further away, like in a different Kenosha, right? So it was maybe 30 minutes from me, and I would go over there. I wanted to go home, right? I don't know if you guys have this, but like I wanted to go over there. I didn't want to stay, is the thing. I did not want to stay. I wanted to go over there to have sex, and then I wanted to go home. But I don't know. I don't have, is it the balls, right? I don't want to tell her, hey, I want to go home. I want to sleep in my own bed. I don't want to hurt. That's me. Like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. So what's going on here? I don't want to hurt people's feelings. So I don't know. Instead, I guess I lie and make things up. So the first few times I was able to get, the first time was that old trick. You call your friend and be like, hey, go to the bathroom, call your friend, call me back in 30 minutes. Yeah, call me back in 30 minutes, and I'll make, and he calls you back, and you're like, oh, what, you gotta wait, what, you got pulled over, your car's stranded. Okay, I'm gonna go over there and get you. It's pre-planned. So, I tell her, I'm so sorry, I gotta go. My friend just got pulled over, blah, blah, blah. I gotta get out of here. That happens. You know what? That reminds me of a story where my friend got Catfished. Anyways, catfished. So the first time was fine. The second time, I forgot what excuse I used. I made something right. I made something up where I had to leave again. So now it's getting to the third time that I go over there, right? Yeah. Now it's the third time that I go over there, and I don't want to, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I think I'm still a little bit drunk. And we had sex, and then I get heartburn, guys. I don't know if you guys get heartburn, but I get heartburn. I've always gotten heartburn. I don't know. I eat bad. I eat a lot of spicy food. I drink coffee. I know that doesn't help. I'm drinking tea right now, actually. Chamoy tea. What is it called? Kamoli? I don't know. Chamomile. But I call it like chamoilers. I'm an idiot. I don't know. At work, some dude in South Africa, a customer sent this forward group message on WhatsApp. And the WhatsApp message is like, oh, if something about basically drinking tea cures you from the coronavirus. And then, so I don't know. I've been drinking tea, and I've heard that. But anyways, so it's the third time. I don't know what to do. So what I do is I go into the bathroom, right? And I'm like, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, what am I going to do? I don't want to stay here, right? I want to go home. It's just, I wonder why. I don't know if it's in the morning. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I remember why. This is a person that I really enjoyed sleeping with at the time, right? But when we weren't drinking and having sex, I didn't enjoy their presence so much. Like, man, I have this problem. I don't know if you guys have this problem where I'll drink, right? I don't really drink that much anymore if you listen, but I'll drink. And then when I'm drunk, I'm talking to a girl. I don't even know who it is. I'm like really into them. I'm like, oh my, like with her, I remember the first time we were drinking and then we went after to like 21 of those 24-hour diners. Remember when people used to be able to eat indoors, right? Together. Remember that? Rona. But anyways, we went out to eat and I was sitting there and she was talking to me about religion, right? Actually, she was talking to me about the Bible and Christianity because I grew up Catholic. And we didn't really learn about what's in the Bible. But growing up Catholic is you just go to church. Or your mom goes to church, you go to church until my dad never really went. And then I don't think really Catholics don't know what's going on, right? I think my mom reads the Bible. But I feel I've learned more, I guess Christians, non-Catholics, I learned more about them, about what actually happened in the Bible. Like they know, right? Because they have that Bible study stuff. And I'll talk about me when I was a Christian for 3 months. We'll talk about it in a little bit here. But so I'm with this girl. Right? We're hanging out. She's talking to me about angels and demons. I think it's so cool. It's so interesting. And I'm drunk. And I was like, and I'm just sitting there. I remember thinking like, wow, this is, you know what? I don't know. She's different. I don't know. I like something about her. But then I sobered up and she was talking to me and this is the same person. And I was like, why are you, I don't know. But anyways, so I'm in the bathroom and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Right? What am I going to do? So then I was like, I don't know. This is stupid. I think because I was drunk and I'm like, I'm gonna fake heartburn, right? Yeah. So I faked. So I went outside and then I was like, oh my God, I got really, really bad heartburn. And then she was like, okay, like I have Tums in the kitchen in town. And I was like, no, like it's really bad. It's like it's a different type, a rare heartburn. When I used to do comedy, stand-up comedy before I died because of Rona, I remember there was a bit on this. I was working on this, but I was like, it's a very rare heartburn. And I think I did say something like that. Oh, the virginity. Do you want to talk about when I took that girl's virginity? I don't know. We'll see. Talk about that later. Anyways, and I get the harp, and then she, and I could tell, man. I can tell like that. She kind of gave me this look, like, wow, you're full of shit, right? Like heartburn, like that's all you could think. And I'm sorry, that's all I could think of at the time. But yeah, that was it, right? And then I got home and I left, and then I slept on my own bed. Church. You know what? Are we gonna talk about church? The church one? All right, we'll talk about church. I'm drinking some water. I'm not used to talking this much. Usually I have a guest, but this is what I'm going to talk about church. So I went to church. I went to church for 3 months, right? There was a girl that I liked, right? And she was really super Christian, right? She was super Christian. And I was like, man, how am I going to get in there, right? How am I going to get in there? Because I would look at her Facebook and it was church, Christian, church, and this specific church. And I was like, man, what is my way in? Right? How am I gotta like, and I would ask, I'm like, who, and like, I would ask friends who were Christians and went to church. I'm not very religious, right? And then I was trying to find out who went to this church. Drinking my tea. I was like, who went to this church? I would ask friends, like, anybody go to this church, right? And then luckily, luckily I had a friend who was having some Christian, I don't know what it's called, Christianing name, something. I grew up Catholic, so I don't know these Christian terms, something with their kid at the church. And I found out it was going to be at this specific church. And I was like, yes, this is my thing. So now I was already planned to go to this event. And then another thing happened, right? So she posted on Facebook. Yeah, she posted on Facebook. Her son her son wanted to play for the church band. She just got a guitar as a gift, right? She's hot, all right? I don't know who gave it to her, but I'm sure it was based on looks. I don't know. Anyways, is that sexist? Probably. But anyways, I see she posted about her son just got a guitar, like where do I get a guitar? I forget. I don't even remember. She got a guitar, asking questions, what guitar stores, equipment, any information. And I'm like, all right, finally, I have an in. I used to play guitar, and I learned to play guitar in high school because of a girl. Will we talk about that in a little bit? Maybe. I'll write down guitar. So right now I have catfished, virginity, guitar. Okay, so I see it. So boom, immediately, right? I slide in her DMs, and I was like, oh, you know what? Actually, I used to play guitar, right? Yeah, I used to play guitar. What kind of amp do you have? Because it's an electric. If you guys don't know, electric guitars, you need to plug it into an amplifier to hear the noise. Anyways, you see that my deviate septum? I don't know. Anyways, I get her DMs. We start talking about it. She's like, oh my God, I don't even have an amp. Where do I get an amp? What kind of amp? And then, my thirsty ass is like, actually, I have an amp, right? Because I did. I used to play guitar for this girl that I liked. I learned to play guitar in high school for a girl that I liked. And so I still had, I don't think I have any of my guitars left, but I still have one of the amplifiers. It's like one of the only things I didn't sell. I think I sold everything, my wah wah pedal, everything except for the amplifier. So I still had it. So I was like, I was like, actually, next Sunday, I am meeting. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about dookie in church. Hold on, where are we at? They go together. I'll explain in a second. And I was like, okay, actually, my friend is having a christening at your church, or whatever the fuck. I don't know, whatever it was called. Look, I don't want to curse. Anyways, whatever it's called. So I was like, what about Sunday? I'll meet you there. I'll get the amp. Good. Okay, let me drink some water. So then Sunday, we're good. We're supposed to meet up. Everything's going good. But the night before, I go out to this local bar. Do you guys remember local bars, right? Right? It's not around anymore. I think it was called Bombo. It closed down. I think some people got shot around there. But I went there, right? And I went and I saw this girl that I haven't seen in years. But then she was kind of really like latched onto me. Like I went there to meet a different girl, right? That I met the night previously at another bar. What happened there was I saw the girl. Okay, so this is the girl I met at the man. I don't want to name names. I got to figure this out. So the girl. What is that? A fan? Should have turned everything off. I don't know. Whatever. But the girl I met at the previous bar. Okay, we'll say Clark's, right? My buddy is shout out to Clark's when it opens back up. I met her there, right? I would go there a lot. It's here in Beach Park. So I met the previous girl, and I was really high, right? Because this is what I did that night. I was at home. And then they were playing some type of reggaeton music. If you don't know reggaeton, I don't know. If you don't know reggaeton, look it up. It's reggaeton. Anyways, I was watching these videos with chicks in it. I was like, man, part of me wanted to go out and then go drink. See a fan. And it was part of me wanted to go out and go drink. And I was like, you know what I'll do? I'm going to get really high that way and eat right now to stop myself. Because I was getting that urge to go out and drink. I was like, I'm going to get really high and I eat to stop myself from going out to drink. So that was my plan, right? So then I got really high, then I ate, and I still wanted to go. So I ended up going to Clark's anyways. But now instead of going with a straight mind, I went high and very full. And I don't know why, but this in particular case, like I've had beer goggles, but when I'm high, I'm usually more aware. I could see, I'm more aware. I'm more aware how people look, right? Because one time I went to Wrigleyville, and I went to John Barleycorn, and you go out and you drink, but I went and I was high. And instead of enjoying myself, I saw everything. I saw the white girls dancing, how bad they were dancing. It was bothering me. And you see I remember going to V Live one time high, this place I used to go to every Friday. I think it's still around. So I'm thinking California. And I'd go there all the time. But one time I went high and I remember I saw the people. And these are some of the same girls I would see before. Because I remember I would go every Friday to V Live. We'd get a bottle. We'd go drink. And I'm like, man, there's so many hot women here. And I went high. And then I was like, are these the same women? Like, these are some of the people I've seen before. Like, why is everybody not as attractive? Because I was high. I wasn't drunk. There was no beer goggles. There was or whiskey, whatever I was drinking, Bacardi goggles at that time. But anyways, going back. So I'm at Clark's. I see this girl. I was like, man, she's decent, right? She got a decent body. And my friend's like, dude, what do you? No, she's not. She's not attractive. And I was like, no, I think she is. So I get her Snapchat because I don't get people's numbers. And anyways, I just don't. I get her Snapchat, and then we're supposed to hang out the next day, right? So I go and I meet her up at the Bumble place, and the Bumble place is a lot brighter, right? It's a lot brighter. You can see everything. And now maybe I'm not all high and full. So the next day I go. This is the Saturday before the church, by the way. I was also, the christening. We're going to give her the girl the amp. Did I say I'm going to go? Did I say I already offered? Hey, we'll go. Did I? I'm an idiot. I don't remember, and I can't go back. So I'll say it again if I did. But anyways, I'm at the Bumble, right? And she's there, and I see her, and I was like, oh my God, this can't be the same girl. And he's like, dude, I told you. And I was like, fuck. And I try to get away from her, but she chases me, not literally, but everywhere I go, she goes to the bar. I see another girl that I meet that I haven't talked to in a while, who I actually previously I was, somebody trying to get at. So I start talking to her, and then she's just sitting behind me, waiting, just standing there, right? This is the uglier chick, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do, right? I called my friend. He's like, tell her that your baby, I don't have any kids, but your baby mama's there. You don't want to cause any trouble. I think I ended up just, I don't know. I don't like being mean to people. So, and then, like I said, I saw this other girl that I haven't seen in years, right? She was at the bar too. So I go to talk to her, and this girl gets really like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in a while. And maybe last time she said, I think what happened there is last time she saw me, I was fatter. Right, I was fatter when the last time she met me, and now I was whatever I am now, I guess. And she probably found me more attractive. And then she was kind of like really like latched onto me, like physically. I think she was really close to me. So, but then the other girl, the other girl, kept coming up when I was with her, like at the bar. I found this girl. Now it's like, all right, I'm gonna stick with this girl, so the other chick leaves me alone. But that she didn't. She would come and then ask me for a drink, and then I think I just felt bad that I was kind of dissing her, so I would be out of guilt. I bought her drinks. I was buying drinks for this girl. I was buying drinks for the less attractive girl. I don't want to say ugly. I don't know. It makes me feel mean. But I'm buying, now I'm hanging out with this other chick, right? Whatever. So we're drinking. Now I'm drinking with her. We're hanging. We start dancing, right? And now we have a few drinks. And at this time, I don't know where I was living. My mom still might have been staying with me. So I didn't have a place to have sex except my car. So this is when I thought I was a baller, and I wasted a bunch of money. So I think I was like, you know what? Let's go to the hotel, right? So I go to a hotel with her. And this is the night before I got to go to my friend's church thing, the christening or whatever it was. And I don't know if I mentioned previously, and if I did, I'm repeating myself, but the church girl, I told her, hey, let's meet at my friend's christening, church thing, or whatever. I have an amp, right? I have an amplifier. How about I let you use it? And I'm going to be at your church anyways. Perfect, right? So now I am with the girl, right? The shorter girl I met at the Bombo. We go to the hotel. We, making out and stuff. While we're having sex, and this is the night before the hotel. It's getting a little bit late. I don't want to stay out too late. I'm aware of this. I'm drinking. It's like I don't want to stay up too late because I got to go to a church tomorrow. She was a little bit aggressive. We're having sex, and then at one point we're having sex. I think, did she have to go? Somebody had to go to the bathroom. All right, maybe she had to go to the bathroom, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I remember she's like, come on. She's like, where's the bathroom? And we're at a hotel, so here's the bed. The bathroom's like right there, like right behind. You've been to hotels; they're not that far from. There's not a lot of square footage there. And I'm like, right there. Go to the bathroom. She's like, but come show me, come with me. And I'm like, all right, sure, right. So I go and I show her. I come with her. I walk a few steps, literally walk a few steps. Go to the bathroom. She's right there. And I'm like, all right, well, here's the bathroom. I'm gonna go back to the bed. She's like, no, stay with me. And I'm like, I haven't come yet, guys. I haven't come yet. So, and I want to end the night and come and go to bed so I can go to church the next day. So I'm like, whatever, right? I want to come, because I think I took one of those gas station dick pills too. Did I do cocaine? I don't think so. I don't think I was. Whatever. Anyways, I'm like, sure, I'll stay with you, right? She's like, no, come into the bathroom with me. So I go in there and I'm like, all right, go ahead, go to use the bathroom, I guess. And then she's like, no, but I don't want you to watch. And it's like, okay, like, it's like, what are we doing here, right? Like, but I'm like, okay, whatever. So I compromise. I don't know. I sit at the edge of the bathtub and I go behind the curtains and I sit there while she's going to the bathroom. I don't know. I'm just going along with it because I want to come and I want to get the hell out. I want to hurry up and come so we can go to bed. So I'm not too too tired when I go to church the next day. I'm giving the meeting up with the church girl for the first time. So I'm excited, right? So then the girl, she finishes whatever. We go back to the bed. We're about to start having sex again, and then I did notice there was something right by her leg, by her thigh, and I was like, "What is that?" Right? And I see it, right? And I see it, and then it looks like a little spot. I'm like, "What is it? Is it a birthmark or something?" Like what? I couldn't tell what it was. I was like, "Is that a birthmark? Right? Is that a piece of chocolate?" Right? And then it hit me, right? Yeah. Then it hit me. The smell hit me. It was dookie, guys. I don't know if she didn't. Yeah, it was dookie. It was dookie. I don't know if she didn't wipe properly. I don't know what happened. I can see. I was behind the shower curtain while she was going to the bathroom. And then there, when I looked at that, I realized that I had a choice I had to make because it's like, do I tell her or do I not? Right? And in my head, I was like, look, if I tell her, she might be really embarrassed, right? And like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Kill the mood, not want to have sex, right? And I couldn't and I still, the problem is, remember I took that gas station dick pill. I still wanted to come and I wanted to come quickly. Like I want to get this over with at this point, right? We've been having sex for a little bit and it's like it's time to go. I need to go to bed. I need to be prepared for tomorrow when I go to church. So I was like, fuck it, man. I thought about it. I was like, you know what? We're in a hotel. There's a church, not church, a towel here. Fuck it, whatever. I didn't tell her. I was like, I'll just angle, in my head, I justified it, rationalized it. I was like, I'll just angle my hips in a certain way. I really don't touch it. Whatever. Either way, I got a towel. We'll wipe off. I'll take a shower. And then, yeah, I had Dookie Love. Was that the name of a bit when I tried to make this a bit? I don't know if I ever really did. But that's what happened, right? She, I don't know, shit herself, didn't wipe, but... And the problem with this girl is she gave me like a bunch of bites and hickeys. So she bit me. She was a biter, right? Biters. So she bit me a bunch of times, which is okay here on the chest, right? I can wear a shirt. Oh, a Lobo Den shirt. Can you see it? I don't know. I am recording this. I might put it on YouTube, depending on the quality. But anyways, so now the next day, it's like, damn it, dude. Like, luckily this was winter, right? So I was able to wear a scarf. So the next morning, sick, whatever my alarms went off, right? Because I got to be at church at 9 something. My alarms went off, and I was like, hey, we got to go. Time to go. Get her out. Take her home. Go home, change, shower, put on a scarf because I got my hickeys all over me. I thought that the scarf, I'll wear the scarf the whole time. So I don't know. Is that weird? If you meet a guy and he doesn't take off his scarf, is that, right? He has, whatever. He has hickeys. So I go, I should have stopped her. Anyway, so I go to the church, go home, pick up my amp, take a shower, get my dress shoes on, got the amp in the car, and they do the whole service or whatever. Then I'm looking, then they do the Christian service, and I see it. I'm looking around, and I'm like, where is she, right? And she's not there. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I asked the guy, hey, do you know this lady? No. So then I messaged her, like, hey, I don't see you. Where you at? I guess there's two, we'll call it Church X. I don't want to say the name of the church. There's two of the same, they have the same name, right? Lobo Den Church? No, whatever. Won't give it a name. They both the same church. We'll call it Christ Church. How about that? Wasn't there a shooting in Christ Church? Whatever. We'll call it Christ Church. That's in New Zealand, but we'll call it Christ Church. So there's two, quote, it's not their actual name, two Christ churches. And they're like within blocks of each other, like, they're within like a mile of each other. And then she goes to a totally different Christ church, quote unquote, Christ church. And so I was at the wrong church. It didn't even happen. So then I had to set up another meeting with her to meet the amp. So it was, I think Wednesday or something, they were doing band practice, right? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go do band practice. So I go there. She's there with the son. I don't think the son ever liked me too. I think he knew what I was up to. That I liked her. Anyway, so I go, I give her the amp, or I let her borrow the amp. Actually, she's still borrowing it right now. She'll get it. No, I won't get it back. But I give her the amp. And then that Wednesday when I go and finally meet her to get her the amp at the correct church, she's like, "Hey, what are you doing Sunday? Why don't you come to service?" Right? And I'm like, "All right." She doesn't know I really don't believe in God or anything like that. So I'm like, "This is my chance. This is my in. Finally." I've been waiting for this moment for like a year. This is pathetic, right? Yeah, it should be. Anyways, we're on a team. So I was like, all right, here's my chance, right? Here's my chance. So Sunday, I'm like, all right. And it's funny because Sunday was coming, right? And I remember I was like, all right, I got to crack. I went on YouTube. I looked up little summaries of the Bible, summaries of the First Testament. I was like, all right, let me try to sharpen up some of this stuff. Like, I'm ready. It's go time, right? It's go time. So Sunday, boom, Sunday went to church. And this is where I think I messed up, besides the fact that she had a man I didn't know about. But anyways, I'm an idiot. I think where I messed up is like I should immediately. I'm not. Whenever I talk to a girl, I show interest. Immediately I make it known like I'm interested, right? But I don't know. I think I wasn't myself in that situation. In my head, I was like, you know what? I don't know. I was going to church instead of being like, all right, cool, let's go hang out now. Or maybe I shouldn't. My friends tell me I shouldn't even tell her to go to church. I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't really go to church, but hey, why don't you want to go out? You want to go meet up or something but I don't know. I was like, you know what? I know what I'll do. I'll be a fake Christian for 3 months and then get her pants that way. Right. So then I went that Sunday. So I was going every single Sunday, right. I think it lasted about 3 months. Like one of my friends went with me one time and he recorded me. He watched, he was sickened by it. Really. He was disgusted. Cause in the beginning, I don't know if you've been to Christian church. I go to Catholic church. It's very, blah, blah, blah. Christian church at the beginning, they do some singing thing. I forgot what it's called. And they sing and they go along with it. And this girl, she was really into it. You know what I mean? She came from, her past was a little sketchy, but he got her shit together. Went back to school with her kid and everything, raised her kid on her own, went back to school, got her shit together, got really into the church. And then, I remember like when she would sing, she'd cry too, like afterwards. There were like tears. It's really into this stuff, right? And I'm over here fake singing the Christian stuff. And I always had a feeling the pastor, I don't know, when I first met him, like, he's on to me, right? He's like, I know or maybe I wasn't the only one that she brought. Because I remember one time, this Puerto Rican dude came, and he brought her too, and I was like, he came to the church because he invited her, and I saw him, and I was like, what the fuck is this doing here? Dude, like, this is my thing, right? I got defensive over the church girl that I was trying to get at. But afterwards, I saw him at the liquor store, and I was like, you were trying to get her too? I was like, all right, for sure, dude. But, so I'm going to, and one of the nights, one of the days I did go to church, I remember I did fuck up. I did do coke before I went to church because I went out again because I was still kind of going out and partying. So I remember one time I went out, I got really drunk, I was on very low sleep, and that next day I was like, man, I was like, I don't want to look tired. Because I don't know, I think I was trying to put up this facade. I was like, oh, I think I'm a good person, right? But I wasn't this Christian that I was pretending to be. So I was like, man, I don't want her to see me look tired. I don't want to think I'm hungover. So this is how you rationalize. In my head, my dumb head, I thought, all right, I'm in the parking lot. I'm going to do some bumps of cocaine before I go in there. And I did. I don't know if you ever do this. When you do the first one on one nostril and it's a certain size, the next one, it's like, oh, that wasn't enough, right? You want to keep it even, I heard, because your nose. I don't know if it's true. So I was like, man, let me do a little bit more. It's like, oh, wait, that was too much. So let me do. And then I was like, all right, did I do too much? And I was all high. I remember that we would sit in the front too, right? Like close to the front. And I remember I was sitting there high and I was thinking like, oh my God, dude, they know I'm high. I don't know when you're high, you think people know you're high. That's a common thing. I know that's a common thing. And I was like, I know this dude thinks I'm high. But anyways, I don't know. I thought they were onto me. But eventually, what happened, and I started seeing people, right, at the church that I knew. I was like, oh, Jhovany, you coming to this church? Like friends and family of my friends would see me, and I'm going to the church, and they're like, oh, Jhovany's religious now, right? Except for, and then one of my friends, like, hey, he told me, he's like, I think he's talking to this other guy, and then showed me the picture of the guy, and I was like, no. Really? And that's when I was like, I gotta make my move or do something. And I remember like that next week, I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask her to do something. I'm gonna make my move. But then she was out of town because she travels for work, and I was like, all right. So the next week, this is it, right? And then I remember that next week, I went, and then I was sitting there. So she was gone for 2 weeks, so she didn't go to church. And I went to church by myself without her when she was out of town. And I was. I had to keep it up, right? Because I'm almost there. I'm almost at the finish line. I'm close. I'm always going to close this. I thought delusional. I did learn from this. Be yourself. Anyways, yeah. Let me emphasize that. Be myself. Be yourself. I'll tell you why. I mean, so I was sitting there at church, and then when you go to church, you go up and down because, I don't know, you sit up, you squat, or you go on your knees, whatever. You go up and down for whatever reasons they want you to do that. I don't know why. I'm not a theologian. So when I'm up or standing and I go to sit back after kneeling or standing or something, I kind of hit somebody in the back of the head, right? And when I turn around, I see it's the dude. My friend said, "Hey, she is a man. She's a dude she's talking to," and it was like, oh my. And I hit him, and then to the corner, I see that it was her, and I was like, "Fuck, they're together. It's here. It's true. She has a man." I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" Right? And that is the last time I went to the quote unquote Christ Church. So that was it, guys. I went there for 3 months with a girl who was already engaged, and she has my guitar amp. And I thought about this, right? Her son. There's a picture I have when they did some, for the Easter thing, right? And they're all dressed up, and her son was dressed up as something. I remember I took a picture, and if you zoom into the picture, you could tell the son is. If you zoom in, you look at the picture of the son. He's like staring at me like this son of a bitch. Oh my god! I brought my niece to this church too, right? I went to go volunteer on Saturdays for this one breakfast thing, right? You guys seen the meme with the guy holding all the chairs trying to impress the other Christians ladies? I was doing that too, right? And then I took my niece to some other thing when she wasn't even there. Oh my god, dude! I mean, she had fun, but wow, I forgot how bad this guys. And I almost when I was talking the time I went to High when I was at Cocaine on Church, I talked about it at an open mic, Villa Park, Josephine. Shout out to Josephine's if it comes back at Verona. I remember I was working on a bit about it. And I remember some guy was like, don't attack Catholic Church, Catholic religion. He tried to attack me and fight me that day. But wow, guys, wow, what am I saying? Oh yeah, be yourself. And what I learned from that is like be myself. Like I was this fake Christian for 3. If in the beginning I probably would have been myself, I could have ended and be like, oh, I'm seeing somebody, or oh, it could have been like shit, I'll fuck you on the side. But anyways, they're engaged happily ever after. That guy just got baptized too. I saw it on Facebook, right? Shout out to baptism when you're an adult. Yeah, some of my friends text me like that. That could have been you, dude, getting dunked in that lake, guys. Getting dunked in that lake. Let's see. My friend getting catfish, taking a girl's virginity. A little bit more I want to talk to you guys about on this first solo den. And the solo den because, again, Hustle Man, you cracked down on me. He's probably high on crack right now. My phone's on the dead zone, so maybe I could try to get him maybe tomorrow to release it for next week. Sheets. Let's talk about Sheets. Maybe next solo den I'll talk about how I got arrested on mushrooms, but let's talk about Sheets. I've never bought, I'm going to be 36 next month. I'm 35 years old. I've never bought sheets in my life, right? Or a pillow, I think. Yeah, I don't think so. I might have bought a pillow. Like there was a year where I didn't have a pillow. So I rolled up a shirt every day to go to sleep. And I was like, I don't need I have the money. You know what I mean? I have the money. I don't know what it is. But anyways, it's a lot of heavy breathing because of my deviated septum. But let's talk about sheets. So the first time I bought sheets was last year. So what happened was there's a young lady I met when I went to Miami. When I went to Miami last year in July, and I blew $4,000 minimum, and I realized, like, damn, this is fucked up. Before I went, I met a girl, right? I met a girl at Clark's. It was at Clark's. She was a younger chick. And then before I went to Miami or after or something, I started talking to her. Anyways, I forgot when I started talking to her, but she went on when we were talking when I came back. She went on a family trip, right? To somewhere, Wisconsin probably. I don't know. And I remember she played the podcast. I think it was on. I forgot which episode. I'll link it. It was the Miami story. Whatever. I'll link it. I'll go back and listen to this. I'll link it with Eric Busting Balls with Eric Pennell. Because when I came back, right? When I came back from Miami, I was distraught. All my bank accounts were negative. I had no money. Like my life was in shambles. And that first day I recorded, one of the first, that week I came back, he sat down. I was like, oh, how was Miami? And I was like, fuck, man, I fucked up, right? And I tell him a story how I spent all this money on cocaine, the strippers, broke a toilet, you know what I mean, at the motel. It was whatever. So I tell him the story. And I remember she played the podcast for her family, we started talking, and when I came back, I had a rule that I wasn't doing drugs for 90 days, no women for 30 days. So me and her didn't hang out. We would, text or snap, but I was like, hey, I can't hang out until the 30 days, technically. And she would text me, oh, it's 10 days, 5 days, it's going to happen, right? And what's the point of the story again? Oh, the sheets. We'll get to that. I got really into this chick, right? She was young, man. She was like 21. I'm an idiot. I'm so stupid. Anyways, so I got really into her. My friend's like, dude, you're making yourself too available. You're being too thirsty. Stop. And I was like, no. I was like, normally I would listen. I was like, but this one, I have a feeling about this one, right? Like, I think, no, I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna whatever. So like she planned things out. Things are moving really fast. She's like, hey, there's a wedding. You want to go to it? And I was like, sure. Like we just met. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go to a wedding. You want to come with me? It's in a different state. Okay, sure. Hey, you want to meet my family? They were FaceTime. She was FaceTiming with her family. Sure, whatever. I went along with it. My friends were telling me, and I'd be on the phone with her at night before bed. And my friends like, what are you fucking in high school? Well, like, what are you doing? And I was like, no, this one, I don't want any advice. I think I got this one, right? And I know I have a good feeling about this one, right? I have a good loser. How about that? You fucking loser. Good feeling. Wow. Good feeling about this one, right? So everything I think is going good. We're supposed to hang out. I think, maybe like we hung out once. I met her family and then we're supposed to go like on our first date to go out. Cause now the 30 days are over or something. Fucking loser. Drinking Kamoli tea. So I'm like, all right, we're going to go out on our first date. This is why I don't like sunflowers anymore. She was really into sunflowers, like a lot of people are right now. So I remember that day I don't want to get flowers. So I bought, what a fucking pathetic loser. So I bought sunflowers, right? I went to Joe on my lunch break. I'm going to get sunflowers. We're going to hang out. And then we went to go eat at this restaurant that I can't go to anymore. I can. Maybe I should be able to go. What is it, Lazy Dog? Oh, fuck Lazy Dog, right? Not Clucker's, Lazy Dog. If you guys don't know, I got dumped at Clucker's. But anyways, we go. Things are going well. I don't try to sleep with her that night because it's like, you know what? I like this chick. So not tonight, which I probably should have. But anyways, it's like, not tonight. I want to take my time. This is different. Blah, blah, blah. Blah. Oh, the sheets, right? And I remember that day I was like, all right, Friday we'll go out to dinner. Saturday we're supposed to hang out again. Because her friend was going on a Tinder date, and she's like, her friend asked her for us to go with her. And I was like, sure, why not? And my friend's like, look, you shouldn't say no. Say no to something, right? You're gonna hang out. And it's like, don't make yourself so available. I was like, no, and I didn't. So we sheets. So then so that day I got all these diffusers. I cleaned my room. I bought new sheets. I've never bought sheets. It's the first time I bought sheets in my life, right? I had these same sheets, so I had new sheets. I cleaned my room, and I remember that Saturday, I was getting a weird vibe the next day because usually we text back. She didn't really text me, and I text, good morning, didn't respond till later. She's like, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then later, she's like, oh, you know what, my friend, she canceled, so I'm just going to hang out with her. She's not going to go on their Tinder date. And it's funny because when I get a bad feeling about something, like I know something's up, I'm almost always right when it comes to women. I was like, wait a second. I was like, I have a feeling this is it. I'm getting dropped today. I was like, so I went with my friends to hang out. And it's funny because I was like, oh, I was blowing her up. Not blowing her up, but hyping her up to my friends. Oh, yeah, her, this and that. We're going to hang out. But then I think that next day, it was that Sunday, I got that text. Because another good morning, it's something about her having anxiety. I was like, oh, I hope you feel better, anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember she messaged me. She was like, oh, you know what? I'm an upfront person. I just want to let you know. What is it? What did she say? I just want to let you know, things. I'm an upfront person. I want to let you know things were moving way too fast. Blah, blah, blah. I think we're better off being friends or something like that. And I was like, I fucking knew it. I was like, wow. Like, my friends called it, right? And I should have listened to them on it. And I was like, damn it, dude, I got dropped. And I remember I was like, man, motherfucker, I bought all these fucking new sheets. You know what I mean? Like, she was going to come over. That's a night I wanted to, do it. And I was like, fuck it. So I went to Walmart, went to Marshall's, returned my new sheets, my new comforters that day. But today, I bought sheets finally again yesterday, right? Because I grabbed my sheets. I was like, I gotta take my sheets. Rona, let me get them clean. Take them to my mom's house to clean. I don't wash my own clothes, by the way. I either have a girl do it or pay for it. I don't care. I'll pay for it. I'll drop them off. I'm not washing my own clothes. I do other things, but I'm not gonna wash my own clothes. I don't care what you think. So I looked at my sheets. I was like, these are disgusting. I cannot take these to my mom. So I grabbed them. I measured my bed, went to Target, I bought new sheets. So guys, I have sheets now, guys. Well, I finally have sheets. Okay, I don't want to keep this too long, since I don't know how people feel about listening to one person talk so much at once. I'm not Bill Burr, I'm not Tim Dillon, but is there? Let's see. I'll read some of the topics I had on here. So if you guys want to hear it, I could throw on different podcasts. Arrested on mushrooms. That's not bad. Portals, religious portals. I don't want to get into that. Birthday, taboo court. No. Let's see. Grandma trannies. Or trans, right? Did I fuck up? Did I just cancel myself? It doesn't matter. Rona, we're all going to die. But grandma transsexuals. She's not, but whatever. There's a story behind that. My first time I did an open mic. It's semi-interesting. It involves strippers and whatever. The Honduran prostitute. This is in Honduras. That's kind of an interesting story, right? There's cocaine involved. Wow. Surprise, right? Sex broken collarbone. Broke up with, I can't say a name, robbed by a hooker. That happened here in Zion. Okay, guys, so I don't know if I released the video, but Hustle Man, if I can get him on the line again, we'll record, and everybody stay safe. Love you.
Love again, love again, love again.